Good morning to one and all. I am Venkatesham. I am going to discuss about the atomic structure topic. In this video, I am going to explain the electromagnetic wave theory. Electromagnetic wave theory was proposed by the James Maxwell scientist, and James Maxwell is a scientist. He is the first scientist to study about there is an interaction between the charged particles and how it is going to be produces that electric field and magnetic field in the macroscopic level, right? So and James Maxwell suggested that whenever there is a charged particle is accelerated here some charged particle is accelerated, and it produces the continuously electric field and magnetic field, and these two fields are perpendicular to each other, and they are perpendicular to the way of that propagation, and these electric field and magnetic field in one particular direction they are transmitted. This transmitted electric field and magnetic field can be transmitted in the form of waves. These waves are called as electromagnetic waves, or which is also called as electromagnetic radiation, EMR. And this electric field and magnetic field, when it is produced, if a charged particle is accelerated along one direction, and these electric field and magnetic field are transformed in the form of waves. These waves are called as electromagnetic waves, and which is also called as electromagnetic radiation. These electromagnetic radiations and will have that certain characteristics, right? So before we'll discuss about the characteristics and these highest upward displacement, generally we can call it as a crust. The highest upward displacement of this electromagnetic wave is which is a crust. The highest downward displacement is called as which is a trough. The highest upward displacement is this is a crust. Again, this is also a crust, and even this is also a trough, right? So the highest upward displacement is called as a crust, and the highest downward displacement is called as which is a trough, right? So this crust and the trough, whenever the one crust and trough is completed, then we are saying that there is one wave is completed, we are saying, right? So whenever this one crust and one trough is completed, then we can say that one wave is completed, right? These electromagnetic radiations are electromagnetic waves will have the certain characteristics. Here characteristics of electromagnetic radiation or electromagnetic waves, right? In that characteristics, first one is I am talking about there is a wavelength. So wavelength is nothing but the distance between the two successive crusts or the two successive troughs. This is the highest upward displacement. This is also a highest upward displacement. So the distance between the two successive crusts or distance between the two successive troughs is called as it's a wavelength. Generally, this wavelength can be represented by a symbol lambda, and this lambda will have which is in a distance, so that it will have the units like angstrom and a meter and a centimeter, right? Nanometer and even picometer is units for the wavelength, right? And other one is second characteristic property is that is in frequency. Frequency is another characteristic. So this frequency can be represented by a symbol nu, right? So frequency is nothing but the number of waves that can be occurred, or the number of waves that can be crossed by a given point in the direction of electromagnetic waves per second. How many number of waves are crossing that particular point in per second, that number is called as it's a frequency, and frequency can be represented by a symbol, there is a nu, and mathematically frequency nu is equals to c by lambda, and c is the speed of light, whereas lambda is nothing but which is in a wavelength, right? So generally these units for this particular frequency is cycles per second, CPS, or hertz is another unit for this frequency. and this is the second characteristic of electromagnetic waves. And other one is there is a wave number. Next one is wave number. So wave number is generally, so the number of wavelengths that can be takes place in a per unit length. Suppose I am taking in this particular per unit length, how many number of wavelengths can be taking place in that per unit length, that we can call it as it's a wave number. Generally this wave number can be represented by a symbol nu bar, or in other terms we can say that a wave number is simply a inverse of the wavelength. The reverse of the wavelength is generally it's a wave number, and a wave number can be represented by a symbol nu bar, or mathematically nu bar is equals to 1 by lambda we can write that. So this is simply a wave number, and its units is I can write this is in a centimeter inverse, or there it is in a meter inverse is it's a wave number units, right? And the next one is this is amplitude. I can write this amplitude can be represented by a symbol A. So the height of the crust or the depth of the trough is generally it's amplitude. The height of the crust or the depth of the trough is generally we can call it as it's amplitude. And the next fifth one is velocity of the electromagnetic waves. Velocity of the electromagnetic waves I can write down this is in a simply a, and c is simply a speed of light, the velocity of the electromagnetic waves. And this velocity, so velocity of the wave as well as this particular frequency and wavelength are related, that is equals to there is a nu into lambda, and this is a relation I will write for the velocity of the electromagnetic wave. And the next one is electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum I can write down this is EMS. EMS is nothing but electromagnetic spectrum. In this electromagnetic spectrum we have that different kind of electromagnetic radiations are there. In that all the different kinds of electromagnetic radiations, there is an X-rays are there, gamma rays are there, cosmic rays are there, radio waves and microwaves and UV rays and visible rays and infrared rays. These all are the electromagnetic radiations are the and invisible, and only one type of electromagnetic radiation, that is in a visible electromagnetic radiations are visible, and remaining all the different kind of electromagnetic radiations are invisible to our naked eye. And these all the different kind of electromagnetic radiations are arranged in the increasing order of their wavelength, the decreasing order of their frequency. These all the different kind of electromagnetic radiations are arranged. That arrangement we can call it as it's a electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum is simply the arrangement of different kinds of electromagnetic radiations in the increasing order of their wavelength, the decreasing order of their frequency. That we can call it as it's electromagnetic spectrum. In this electromagnetic spectrum there is a cosmic waves or cosmic rays are having the shortest cosmic rays are having the shortest wavelength, whereas particularly radio waves are having the radio waves are having there is a highest wavelength, right? Cosmic rays are having the shortest wavelength, radio waves are having the highest wavelength, and these all the different kind of electromagnetic radiations are invisible to our naked eye. Only this visible range of radiation appeared with the different colors, VIBGYOR colors. So that visible range of radiation generally it is varies from the 4000 angstroms to the there is a 7800 angstrom. So that this visible range of radiation only that can be appears with the different colors. So that this visible range of radiation only we can able to see from our naked eye. Generally it is appeared with from VIBGYOR color, VIBGYOR, VIBGYOR colors it will be there. So next electromagnetic wave theory successfully explained the few concepts here. One I can take, this is in a reflection was successfully explained by the electromagnetic wave theory. what is mean by a reflection? It is a reflecting a wave whenever it is striking on a smooth surface, on the some surface. If it is striking, then it will be, there is a reflection can be takes place, right? So this reflection was successfully explained then in the electromagnetic wave theory. And other one is there is a refraction was refraction also successfully explained in the particularly there is an electromagnetic wave theory. Here refraction is nothing but it is a bending of a wave from when it is moving from one medium to the another medium. If it is moving from one medium to the another medium, there is a bending of wave takes place, that we can call it as it's a refraction. And other one is it was successfully explained there is a dispersion. So electromagnetic wave theory successfully explained the dispersion. Dispersion is nothing but whenever the light, if it is striking on the prism and it can be splitting into the different waves, that particular phenomenon is it's a dispersion. Dispersion is nothing but it is whenever the light is passing onto the particularly prism and it can be splitting into the different waves, that particular phenomenon is it's a dispersion. And other one is there is a diffraction is there. Diffraction is nothing but electromagnetic wave theory successfully explained even diffraction also. Diffraction is nothing but so bending of a wave at a corner of the particular object, that we can call it as it's a diffraction. Diffraction is simply a bending of a wave at a particularly corner, then we can call it as it's a diffraction. And yeah, interference is nothing but it is simply a combination of two waves with the same or different frequencies, and to give that as there is a resulting wave with some disturbance, right? So that particular wave is it's a interference. There is two types of interference are there. One I can take, this is a constructive interference. Constructive interference is one. Constructive interference is one. This constructive interference is nothing but I am taking the two waves are present here like this. So there is this is a one wave and this is another wave, right? So this is so first wave and then this is the second wave. So sum of these two will give rise to the this one. This is a resulting wave. If this is a resulting wave, it will be there. This is called a resulting wave. When two waves are in the same phase, they can overlap and it produces the resulting wave. That we can call it as actually it's a constructive interference. This is a wave 1 and this is a wave 2. Both are in the same phase. They can overlap and it produces the resulting wave. This is called as a resulting wave. Such kind of overlapping is it's a constructive interference, producing the resulting wave, that we can call it as it's a constructive interference. And other one is the second one is there is a destructive interference. Next one is there is a destructive interference. In this destructive interference, whenever there is two waves are in opposite phase. So like this is one wave and this is another wave. Like this is another wave, second wave. They are in opposite phase. This is a wave 1 and this is a wave 2. They are in opposite phase. If they are overlapping with each other, then it produces the another wave, and that we can call it as it's a resulting wave is produced, that we can call it as it's a destructive interference, right? So whenever there is a two waves are in opposite phase, if they are overlapping and it produces the resulting wave, that process is simply it's a destructive interference, right? So here these are the properties are successfully explained by the electromagnetic wave theory: reflection, refraction, dispersion, diffraction, interference, again constructive interference, and destructive interference. But even in this theory will have the certain drawbacks. So drawbacks of electromagnetic wave theory. What are the drawbacks of this particular electromagnetic wave theory? It could not explain the black body radiation. electromagnetic wave theory could not explain the there is a black body radiation. It could not explain the black body radiation. And other one is it could not explain that there is a photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect is not explained in this one. So photoelectric effect is not explained by the electromagnetic wave theory, right? And another drawback is it's a variation of heat capacity of a solids with the temperature. Whenever the some solids have they are going to be change it's a heat capacity with temperature was not explained in the particularly electromagnetic wave theory. And other one is there is a line spectrum of hydrogen could not explain in the electromagnetic wave theory, right? So these are the drawbacks and these are the successfully explained by the electromagnetic wave theory.